Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how I created the Amateur song, and let's listen to the song first.
دیوانگارم به من نگاه کن حد ندارم به هجر تو این شرار عشق آتشینم تو خود پس دل و جانم دیگرش هم بره زیبای من چشمان من گل شد عشقا از چشم من ریزد دوبارها زیبای من چشمان من گل شد.
Alright, so that's kind of how it sounds like, and I'm going to walk you through how I create a song. So first what I did was I isolated this voice of Amateur, and I did it with the website called La 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 AI. Here you can upload a song, and what it does is it actually isolates certain instruments. You can pick whatever you want, so drums or like electric guitar, acoustic guitar, piano. So, and if you pick the vocals, then it actually isolates the vocals. So this is how it sounds like again.
ریزد شبارانها زیبای من چشمان من پر شد لا 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 لا.
So that's what I did, and as you can hear here, this is how the vocals sound like.
دیوانگارم به من نگاه کن حد ندارم به هجر تو این شرار عشق آتشینم.
I put a little bit more of EQ on top of it, and also like another one to automate it, compressor, and also like another compressor. So I was just like experimenting around how it would sound like, and I felt like it kind of sounds okay now. So then what I did next was I tried to understand which scale and which key the song is on. And what scale means is that, for example here, you can see that these buttons are highlighted green, and this one is not, and this one is, and this one is not, this one is, this one is not. And all of these scales have a name. So for example, in FL Studio, you can go here and then check on stamp, and then you see here chords, and you see here you can see scales. You have like the major scale of the major bebop, major pentatonic, minor harmonic, minor Hungarian, for example Arabic, blues, etc. And if you pick one of these, for example, let's pick major pentatonic, then what happens is that if you put them here, for example on the C key, you can also put them on a different key like E or whatever, but I will put them here on the C key. What I do then is I just drag them around, I just make them longer, and then I copy them to the other C's to create more space. And then if you press these keys, like every key you press, it actually sounds pretty good. So it doesn't matter which key you press, everything will sound good. So this way you can create actually a couple of like ideas for melodies and stuff like that. It'll make it easier for you because you're not pressing like keys that actually sound off tone, right? So it sounds like bad. So that's what I did first, and in order to actually discover the scale of the song, what I did was I was just listening to the song on repeat like the whole time, and I was just pressing random buttons. So, and I was just like experimenting, I was just trying to press buttons and see what sounds good and what doesn't. So then it's like right? So I was just trying to understand a little bit, and from pressing all these buttons I eventually created the scale, and it turns out that it's this. So I actually don't even know how it's called, but all these keys actually sound good with the song and all the other ones don't. So you just have to try it out with like 12 keys in total, right? Like 7 white ones and 5 black ones, and then eventually we'll find the scale of the song. And from that point, it's actually becomes a little bit easy. So then you just need to create the chord progression. And I already had the chord progression a little bit because I was already trying to find a skill. So then I tried to find a little bit of the chord progression, and this is what I made at the beginning. So it doesn't sound really good, but it was just like to give me a little bit of an idea of what the song eventually might become. If I put this with the vocals, it sounds something like this. As you can hear, it doesn't sound good at all, but I was just like trying to figure out like how to create a chord progression. So after that, I was just experimenting around, and then I created this other melody. So then I was like, okay, this actually kind of sounds not bad. So then I used this for the breakdown. So it sounds like this. And then I created a bass line. It sounds like this. And as you can see, I also like automated the cutoff of the sound, and it's this knob over here. I made an automation clip, and then right here, and it just opens up. So it sounds like this at the beginning. And then I also have this ARP, and it sounds kind of funny. It sounds like this. And I was like, this can like sound pretty cool in the background. So I just put them over here. And all that stuff is just the percussion. So right here you can hear it. And on the drop I also have this kick. And here I also copied the clap, and I just reversed it. It sounds like this. So you have a little bit of variation. And with the bass line it sounds like this. So yeah, when I've had this melody over here, so then I tried to create the drop of the song, and I changed the bass line a little bit. I was just experimenting around. And then I made another layer on the bass line. And then I made a melody on with a different synth. It's actually just the top layer of the bass line. And it's two synths on top of each other, so one sounds like this. and the other one sounds like this. And together they sound like this. And everything together sounds like this. So this was actually meant for the first drop, but I felt like it wasn't really like good enough. So at the eventually I just put it at the very end of the song as an outro. But actually this was meant as the first drop, but I was like, nah, I should try something better. So I just tried a couple of new things. So then I created this other melody. Back in the days I used to produce a lot of trance music. So when I was trying to make this song, I just got the idea of, hey, let's try to make an arpeggio like what I did back in the days and see how it sounds. And then it turned out something like this, and I kind of liked it. So this is how the drop sounds now. You can hear this arp in the background as well. And what I did for the second part was I actually flipped the melody around. So here the arpeggio goes down and up. And here it goes like up and down. So as you can hear here, it starts at the up, it goes like down, and here it starts down and goes up. So it sounds like this. And then for this other softer sound, I actually flip them around. So here it goes up and down, and this one goes down and up, and here this one goes down and up, and this one goes up and down. So it's like, it sounds like this. I felt like it sounds pretty interesting in the background. So then for the second drop, I was like, I cannot use the same thing again because it made sound a little bit boring. So then I just went back and tried to create a new melody, and I came up with this one. So together it sounds like this. For the second part I was like, let's just use the same thing again, and it kind of matched pretty well actually, so I just kept it there. So for the mix, what I did was I put every main synth on a sidechain. So what I actually usually do is I just sidechain with the automation clip. Here on the right track, I just use the volume knob, and then I create a automation clip, and then I draw the line here. So this just goes like up and down the whole time when the kick comes in, as you can see here. So for the synths that actually need a reverb, I chained them to the reverb, and then the reverb actually goes to the sidechain, and the sidechain goes to the master track. And other stuff that don't need a reverb, they just directly go to the sidechain. And For example, here on one of the main synths, I use a little bit of EQ, compressor, and also there's a peak controller for the reverb. So every time this comes up, the reverb, like the wet knob here, it actually goes down. So this way the reverb itself doesn't clash with the synth itself. The reverb comes up after the synth's finished. And yeah, the rest is a little bit of like percussion, stuff like that. So and for the intro, I just duplicated the kick, and I took away the tail of it, so it doesn't really have that much bass. I just repeated this arp. And this comes in. So yeah, that's how the track starts. And on the master track I have compressor, and I have autotune elements, and here I have a little bit of EQ. I just turn down a little bit of the high tones. And here with the imager I just try to balance the track a little bit. And here, as you can see, this dot, the closer it is on the +1, the better the mix actually is balanced. And then on the very end I just put like another compressor, and it just compressed like the last peaks. So if I bypass and match gain together, it's you can hear the difference. This is how it sounds like without the elements. So yeah, that's it. I hope you liked the video. Please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you want more, I have on my Patreon, I have a lot more in-depth explanation about how to do a proper mix. I will show you like how to make use of this stereo imager, which is like a great little tool to visualize how your track is balanced. I will also explain more about how to pitch and how to balance the percussion of your tracks, and a lot more tips. So if you want to check it out, it's on my description. Last thing I want to say is that some people think that you shouldn't remix any song, but I feel like remixing old Afghan songs is a nice way to make sure that the new generation Afghans and also other people who are not Afghan will get familiar with the old school Afghan culture. And that's why I actually like to remix old Afghan songs. It's just to like spread out the culture a little bit more and make people familiar with like the amazing artists like Ahmad Zoyer. Yeah, let me know what you think, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
On Farsari's Patreon, you can find high-quality, professional music production, mixing, and mastering tutorials.
Then we have actually a problem. Everything below 1 means that it created anti-phase. And what anti-phase is that
after 16 years of experience, he has gathered all the knowledge you need. You won't find these valuable lessons anywhere on YouTube. Right now, there is a limited 30% discount, so grab it while it lasts.
And since the bass should be mono and the kick also has a lot of bass should be mono, now we have two clashing samples, the kick and the bass line, who are actually fighting for the mono, for the place in the middle over here in this image spectrum. They are both fighting for the middle and they are both fighting for the low frequencies. So how are we going to fix this? Well, the answer is actually simple.
Farsari is a renowned music producer and audio engineer who has worked with some of the biggest names in the industry. And now he's sharing his expertise with you. From producing music, mixing techniques to mastering secrets, Farsari's tutorials cover it all. So what are you waiting for? Head over to Farsari's Patreon page and start your journey to becoming a professional level mixer and masterer today. You can find the link in the description. And don't forget to follow and subscribe for more music.